Hello, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Ayodeji and I make videos about PhD programs. So how to thrive within a PhD program, general PhD advice. And in this video, I'll be doing something slightly different, talking about postdoc, so post-PhD, the post-PhD research position basically. So I've done a video in the past on what is a postdoc, and also I interviewed somebody who was doing a postdoc position at the time. So why I've decided to do this video is because I've gotten a number of questions on those videos and also on my personal website where people are asking how do they apply for postdocs. And even though I didn't plan on talking about postdocs on this channel, I decided to make this video just to kind of explain the process if that is helpful, bearing in mind that I have only little experience on this. So in this video, I'll be running through how to apply for a postdoc and reiterating some of the points I've mentioned in the former videos. So before I start, I just want to highlight that there are different types of postdocs. So a postdoc basically is, just like I mentioned in this video, is a postdoctoral research position, or it can be a research fellowship and all of that. So what it just involves is carrying out research after the completion of the PhD, or where you are close to completing the PhD, and you can gain additional experiences and skills and work in a different research area or continue working in the same research area. And just similar to like how there are different PhD programs, but I'll focus on postdoc in this video. There are different postdoc research positions, postdoc research fellowships. And from the questions I've gotten from people, I found out that there is a kind of misconception about what a postdoc is, because some of the questions have been framed like, how do I apply for a postdoc scholarship? Which, when I read, it seemed a bit like odd to me, because a postdoc, ideally, at least in the UK where I'm based, is a post PhD position. So you're working as a staff of an institution, a research institution, a university. 90% of the time, you're working in a university, you're carrying out research. So you're an employee of the organization. You're not a student. You've completed your PhD, you've done all this education, and then now you're moving to a post PhD journey, and you're no longer a student. So it's just weird that there are some countries where they refer to postdocs as students. It's just kind of weird to me, and I just wanted to clarify that a postdoc is not a period of education. Some countries frame it as that, and people put on their CV after their PhD, or postdoc studies. Well, all well and good, and I'm not really here to talk about why it should not be this or that, but just to highlight that a postdoc can be a position that you do whereby a PI, that's a principal investigator, or a researcher, a professor, has some funding to carry out some research for a number of years, maybe 2, 3, 5 years, and they need people to carry out this research, people that are experienced in research. So they put out an advert for a postdoc, a postdoctoral research fellow, a postdoctoral research associate. Different institutions call it different things, and you apply for these positions, and then you work under that PI, work under that professor, work under that supervisor in quote, or line manager, and you carry out that research. So postdocs by their nature are usually temporary, because although you're seen as staff of the institution, you're not seen in most of the cases as a permanent staff of the institution, because you're working on a project. And it's only when you've done like a number of postdocs, or if you have some more experience, or there's so many things relating to that I can't really go into, is then you'll be on track to be like on a permanent position where you can move on to senior research fellow, senior research associate, associate professor, assistant professor, and all of that. So a postdoc is a temporary position. So maybe that's one thing that is important to highlight. So the first type of postdoc, like I said, is somebody has some grant funding, somebody has some money to carry out some research, and they employ people. Now, the other type, which people consider more prestigious, is where you might have completed a postdoc already, or you might not even have completed a postdoc. You just completed your PhD and you apply for your own fellowship. So you propose your own research area. Now you finished your PhD, you're proposing your own topic, and you're asking for funding for a number of years, 3 to 5 years, to carry out your own topic. So that's why people talk about winning their own fellowship, or they say the person is doing a fellowship, so it's their own fellowship, it's their own thing. But you would have somebody that is like a mentor that is supervising you. So maybe that's what people refer to when they talk about how do they apply for postdoc scholarships. But framing it in that sense of studies is really not right, whether or not people consider studies in some countries. But basically, I just wanted to first of all start with that those are the two different types of postdoc research positions, kind of. The one where you apply for an advertised job and you carry out that project, apply your skills gained from your PhD, work under somebody, or you apply for your own fellowship, propose your own research, and ask for funding to carry out that research, in a particular institution. And after those two positions, so for the first one, you can then apply after doing a postdoc on somebody's grant, you can apply for your own fellowship. After doing your own fellowship, you can apply to be on the tenure track. That's apply for a permanent position within academia if that's what you want to do. So now let's go back to the main part of this video, which is, so how do you actually apply for a postdoc? So I'm going to focus on the first kind of postdoc, that's the advertised job, bearing in mind that I don't have experience with the other type where you apply for your own fellowship, so I would not speak to that. And also because the questions I've gotten about how to apply. So how to apply for a postdoc job. To give an example of how to apply for a postdoc, I'll be focusing on the UK, which is where I'm familiar with applying for postdocs in. And I'll be going to a website, which is a very popular website that is used to find jobs in the UK in academia. And this website is jobs.ac.uk. So that's somewhere where you can find postdocs in the UK. Very easy to search through and find these postdocs. So we go to jobs.ac.uk and you just go right here. This is how the page looks like. So all you can see is this whole website where you have the different fields. So it's similar to the website that you used to find PhDs, and you can also find PhDs if you're looking for a PhD. But this is a website where you can find jobs, and the different fields. So I'll try not to focus on my own field, just to give examples. So there are different ways you can do it. So you see how they have the different fields. If you click on, let's click on, I don't know, let's just click on computer sciences and see what they have there. So you see, like I said, you see PhDs, you see all of that. So it's always nice to like probably refine your search. But if we scroll down just a little bit, oh yeah, see? So this is a research fellow one for 36 months. And if you go through that, so you're in computer science field, oh, it's also in the Faculty of Medicine. So you see, this website is pretty good. What they do is pull all these job ads together, and you can see here that they've listed, okay, this is going to be the salary, this is when the job ad was placed, this is when it closes, this is full-time, fixed-term contract. So most times, most of these jobs, remember I said a postdoc is a temporary position because you're only working for a period on a particular project. And most times, it's that experience that you have that always factors into your progression within academia, if that is what you want. If you want to progress within academia and continue to rise up through the ranks, it's just that there's a lot of talk about how, because postdocs are contracts, it doesn't give so much job security, and people get really anxious about being on postdoc contracts. And because there's no guarantee at the end of the postdoc contract that you would actually have a permanent position. But like I said, I'm not going to that in this video. We're focusing on how to apply for a postdoc. so you see the salary, and they usually have a summary. So we're seeking a highly motivated research fellow. So it's always nice to have like a summary. And if you click on the apply button, it will usually take you to the web page of the actual institution now that is recruiting. And so it's there you'll be able to see everything that you need to see for this job. So there you can download things like the job description and the person's specification. So those are two important documents. The job description tells you what they require you to do. What does this job entail? Remember, they've given a summary of it, but the job description now tells you exactly what the job entails. And then the person's specification, another document, tells you what characteristics they're looking for in that person. Chief of which is, does this person have a PhD, or are they within 6 to 9 months of completing their PhD, that kind of thing. So I'll go to another job just to hopefully give another example, another way to search on the website for jobs so that it's a bit tidy. So if we go back to the home page, so what you can do, for example, say your field is, I don't know, maybe you're in the, let's use zoology, I don't know, random, and I type in, so I'm looking for a research fellow position, because most times they call them research fellow position. So it's a postdoc, but remember, like I said in that video, postdoc research fellow, postdoc research associate, postdoc research position. But if you just put in research fellow, because most of the job ads come as research fellow, and then you put your field. So you can put, for me, I feel you can put your field, or you can put your particular skills. So for example, let's say you're looking for, okay, let me use the zoology example and see if something comes up. Let's see if something comes up for zoology. Oh, no results. Good. So I just chose zoology because one of the questions I got was someone that wanted to do a postdoc in zoology. So we didn't find anything, but we can be more specific. So maybe let's not focus on the field and let's focus on maybe you have skills in bioinformatics and you're looking for bioinformatics, and I don't know, in any field. It could be in microbiology, it could be in it could even be epidemiology and all of that. But or even so let's just do bioinformatics, for example. I'm sure something will come up because bioinformatics is quite hot one now. Yeah, so we have 13 jobs bioinformatics. Let's click on the first one, and we see, yeah. So you can see here how long it is for. Yeah, so it's for 1 year. You can see the salary. You can see what they're looking for. So it's very important when you're applying for these postdocs to be very specific. So yes, you want to get a postdoc. Wherever you're based in the world, you can't get a postdoc in another, because most people do a PhD in a particular institution. Whether you did a PhD in Nigeria and you move to the US for a postdoc, or you did a PhD in the UK and you move to Canada for a postdoc, or you did a PhD in the UK and you move somewhere else in the UK for a postdoc, or you move to Australia. The most important thing is you need to be sure that you can actually do what they're saying they need. You don't have to 100% fit all the requirements, just like my friend reiterated in this video. But it's very important to be very observant, or very read what is actually there, and it's something that you want to do. So you could also search, with technique, skills, or field, put all those keywords, so it really narrows down to something. So you can see everything. I like this one because they've listed what they want. They want a cover letter, they want a CV, and they want your references. And most of these jobs require you to have a cover letter, a CV, and all of that. So we just click on, so we're going to click on apply again. Trying to see if this one has the actual job description and person specification that we can use to see what they want. Yeah, so there's a document here that says further particulars, to be called different things on different websites. So you just have to really just look. So we open the document now, see what is there. So you have to study the documents. So when you open the document that contains the information that is there, you would see everything. So they've highlighted here the job description for this role is attached below. So you can see there again everything that was on the website, but you will even see more detail. So it tells you exactly what they require you to do. So you read through, and like I said, you don't have to meet everything 100%. But if you feel strongly that, oh, I can actually, do what they're saying that this job is about, you start to consider whether you should apply. And then you go down to the person specification. Remember, I said there are two key documents. There's the job description, which is what is this job about. Person specification is who are you. So number one is usually education and qualifications. So you have a PhD degree, or it could be that some job ads say PhD degree or close to completion of a PhD, which can be maybe almost 6 months done, or you're about to submit, or you're waiting for your defense. You can be really lucky to get a job before you've completed a postdoc, before you've completed your PhD. And then one thing to note in all these job ads is they usually have in their person specification the attributes, yes, and they have essential and desirable. So essential is you have to have it for the job. If you don't have it, they're not going to shortlist you for interview. You have to have a PhD for this job. You have to have programming skills. But it's desirable so you have to have a PhD in natural sciences, engineering, or mathematics. But if you have a degree in bioinformatics, computational biology, they really, they'll like it. They'll like if you have that in addition to that. But that's not what I hope I'm right. That's not what they'll probably use to shortlist. So even if you don't have anything that they've listed as desirable, you have the essential, go for it. So you have so essential, they really want someone with programming skills. If you don't have it, don't bother applying. But it also be nice if the person has experience with high performance computing and understanding of principles of molecular biology, publications in peer-reviewed journals. So you see, they're not making the publications thing essential. They're saying if you have publications, to make you a stronger candidate, it's desirable, but it's not essential. And so on and so forth. So this is how most of these job ads are really, and you just have to study them. And so after you're able to do that is when you now start to put together your application. So you take cognizance of the deadline for the job. And sometimes they list there that you can reach out to people informally, maybe the PI or the professor that has listed the project on the website. So you can reach out to them, especially if you're not sure if you're a perfect fit or an almost perfect fit for the job. You can reach out, or you just want to find out more about the job, you want to find out more about different things, you can always reach out. But it's important to then now sit down and put together a cover letter and a CV. So a cover letter is just, I mean, I'm sure we know what cover letters are. For us to have gotten to this point where we're in PhD programs and we've applied for jobs. So a cover letter is basically now saying why you are the right person for the job. And so you have your CV. Your CV will list especially what they've listed in person specification. You have a PhD or you're close to completing it, you have all these skills. But a cover letter is okay, this is what you said the job is about, and this is why I'm the right person for the job. You have to tailor it to the application. You can't just give a generic cover letter. You can have a cover letter where you create a document that says everything about yourself and what you have achieved and the skills that you have. So for each job you now want to apply for, you tailor your cover letter to that job. They're looking for a particular skill, you have to highlight it. Your CV too, you tailor to that particular job and you just apply. So one has to be very I think you have to be very, very sure about what you want to do and also narrow down your applications. And so you can have like an Excel sheet of different, postdoc positions, when they're opening, when the deadlines are, who is the PI, how long is it for, what's the, the different things, and then what is required to submit for the application, and just make an application. So hopefully you get the right postdoc and hopefully you get invited for an interview. And so for other countries too, there are different websites where they list postdoc positions, research fellow positions, and all of that. So for Australia, for example, they have seek.com.au. So if you see the seek.com.au website, it almost has like similar interface to the other one. And you see, you can enter your keywords. So put in let's do research fellow. Let's just say, yeah, let's just click on what they have here and research fellow and then seek. And so from there, you're able to find different, positions that are listed. So you can see different ones: postdoc research fellow, you have research assistant to postdoc research fellow. So that's another good website. And also for Canada, I found that they have a website on the government of Canada has a website for postdoc, and there's also another website, workopolis.com, where you can find research fellow jobs on the Workopolis website. So let's do research fellow. I don't know. Let's do bioinformatics again. Let's see what we have. Yeah, so you can see exactly. So you see different jobs that they have. So you have just similar to the UK website. So you have the salary details. There's whether it's full time, part time, schedule, what is required, and all of that. So it's pretty straightforward to find websites where to apply for postdocs. And I also found another website which I think is more focused on the US, www.postdocjobs.com. So how to apply for a postdoc? I hope I've been able to answer that question about the how. So it's where did you find the postdocs? You go to website. You can also go to the institution websites. But like for the UK, it's pretty much centralized in jobs.ac.uk. So for me personally, I would suggest to just go straight to that website. And then you can narrow down keyword searching and read through properly, prepare your cover letter, prepare your CV, and then make your application. Make your application on time. And also just make sure your CV is really good. List out your publications if you have publications or publications on that review and all of that.
So preparing for a postdoc interview now, I think it's quite similar to like a PhD interview. I think it's really similar to the kind of questions basically you get at a PhD interview, because they're focusing on your skills for the job. They have the job description that you can actually carry out the job, and for the person's specification, you most likely have listed the things that they want in your CV. So do you have a PhD? Do you have the skills? So at the interview, they're just trying to find out that you actually know how to carry out this project they've listed in the job description. And I think it's easier even at the postdoc level when you apply for a postdoc, because you already have all this experience in your PhD. You have experience with the techniques, hopefully you have experience in the field, or you might not even have experience in the field, but you have the transferable skills, and you're able to give examples. You know, when they ask you questions, you're able to give examples from projects that you've actually carried out, your PhD and any other research that you've done, or even publications. So it's, and also they might ask you questions about, you know, working with people, working, you know, in teams, and all those things, just to assess your project management, collaborative skills and all of that, and also specific questions about the institution. And they might also ask about your career plans, because for this postdoc positions, which are usually temporary, during the position they might be preparing you to apply for your own fellowship, so that you are, you know, starting your career path, hopefully to get a permanent job within academia. So you might have those kind of plans that you might want to share, just, you know, just to make sure that you're the right fit for the job. So it's pretty straightforward. And you can look at my video on PhD interviews just to see some of the questions that you might be asked, which, like I said, I think is quite similar to like a PhD interview, just job interview in general, but really specific for academia. Yeah,
I hope I've been able to address the question of how to apply for a postdoc, and also reiterate what a postdoc is. I hope that you're able to find the postdoc that you want to do, and also decide if the postdoc is what you want to do. Because, like, remember, like I said in that video, you don't have to do a postdoc if you don't want to do a postdoc. But if you feel like you need a postdoc for your career path that you're planning, or you just want to gain additional research experiences and skills after your PhD, go for it. And just make sure that you put together a strong application. Read through the job description, person specification, understand what the job requires you to do, and go for it. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you found it useful, you can give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so that when I post the next video, you will be notified. And I hope you have success in your job applications and whatever else you decide to do when you complete your PhD. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.